seriously though, imagine trying to face down an arch goddamn tempered Shara. At least you'd probably start in phase 2, so you wouldn't have to de-rock him, but my word. Today then, fellow hunters, we are going to talk that topic of much debate back in high rank, the arch-tempereds, yay or nay. And the thing is, it's a difficult topic to tackle because there is so much splintered opinion on them, and really that's because there is so many pros and cons. Just on a base level, you have, at the upper echelons, the level of arch-tempered Zeno.
Oh my god, he's so goddamn cool!
And then you fall all the way down to something like arch-tempered Kirin or Kushala.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
And it leaves you kind of sat there like, yeah, it's extra content, and some of them are good, but it's really artificial, especially the difficulty itself, and it's not the most exciting thing, but new armor sets are cool, I guess, and the odd new move, yay! And you start to wonder if that's something we really want repeated, if that's a cycle we want to see continue into Iceborne. Now, we do have a few official wordings on this from the devs themselves, and firstly, Arch-Tempered was very much a reaction to the outcry that high rank, that base world was too easy. It was never an original plan, they just decided that this would be a nice way to give a temporary bump in difficulty for those that were craving it, along with a few extra armor sets to accompany it. And it kinda did, it was very much a band-aid solution, but a solution it was. They've also said that they don't really have plans one way or the other for Arch-Tempered in Iceborne. They're very much going to listen to the community, and whether we're like, yeah, bring them back, or if we're like, don't you dare! So that's quite nice to hear. They are very much receptive, and it is just, well, refreshing, as is most of their practices when it comes to ensuring the continued health of a game and community. But the question of today is not really if they will add arch-tempereds, but should they? This is a difficult one, as I said, to answer, because I have such mixed feelings on them. I do objectively think that on the whole, the arch-tempered system was very much difficulty done wrong. Nobody really gains anything out of just taking something and inflating its numbers. It just doesn't feel good. You want difficulty to come mechanically. You want a problem presented and to figure out the solution. On a micro level, its monster is swiping forward, I move left or right. Right?
That's exactly right!
You don't want, okay, it's the same thing I've seen before, but now if it so much as looks in my direction, well, because that's just not fun in any way. The absolute highlight of every arch-tempered was, oh, is that a new move? Oh, is it? Oh, that's so cool! And the thing is, you see that in Master Rank when you fight the base world monsters. Just take something like Uragan, his flaming wheel is so awesome. He doesn't need any extra stats. The addition of larger splody rocks and flamey wheelie shenanigans has made him just, like, I don't know what it is, but Uragan really gets me in Master Rank. He really does. Like, he understands me as a person, and it means a lot, Uragan.
You're welcome.
But no, just that slight little change switches him up, and for a few fights at least, you have this refreshing experience. And too many of the Arch-Tempereds missed that. In fact, most of them did. Even Arch-Tempered Gigante, which was one hell of a challenge, having a move that instant up-downs and wipes you out is just not the most thrilling of experiences, whereas you have Arch-Tempered Zeno, who is doing all sorts, completely revamping the fight, circle explosions, new explosions, starting in phase 2, having him just do all of the things. There was like as much new there as there was old. That is a full-on, well, worthwhile encounter that you want to actually get stuck in and fight. But I highly doubt if they go back to the Arch-Tempered route, we're going to see that repeated. Maybe in one of them, but a world where we get Arch-Tempered Namielle, and like the only new thing is like one of her beams fires twice instead of once? Like that's just, oh okay, I guess, that's fine. I think a good example, or at least a case study, is Scarred Yangaruga. Because it only comes in tempered form, it is 90% just Yangaruga, but it does have the aerial rapid fire fireballs that are just absolutely fantastic. But inherently, that's it. It is just the same thing but with bigger numbers. But the thing is, the tempered system works, it's established, and it gives us an object to farm. So perhaps it's better to just simply give the base tempered monsters a new move or a new sequence, just to make them a little bit more refreshing without the need to go all the way to Arch-Tempered, and that way it can apply to more than just Elder Dragons. I realise it's obviously too late for that now, but it is interesting that Scarred Yangaruga, for all intents and purposes, operates as Arch-Tempered Yangaruga. More stats, one new move, but basically the same encounter. It doesn't even come with a new armor. It does let you get the final rank of the weapons, but still, I find that quite fascinating. Because me and anyone I've talked to really likes Scarred Yangaruga, like he really does it. So I wonder how much of this is just stigma attached to the Arch-Tempered, and when we hear a monster is Arch-Tempered, it's just, oh, because I remember way back when Kirin was the first one, we were so excited, the hype was palpable, we were speculating all sorts how it was going to change everything, really upgrade the fight, and we spent hours trying to find new moves for the guide video, and it was such a letdown. But before we realized what it would actually mean, it was really exciting, and that excitement has applied to Scarred because he's presented in a much different lore-friendly way. He's tempered because he has survived a fight, that's why he's scarred and now tempered, and that's a really neat way to do it. But at the same time, it is essentially free content. I don't mean that free as in literally you don't have to pay for it, though that is of course true too, but I mean it's free content. It's not hard for them to tune up a monster's health and damage, throw it in and be like, have fun guys, because really it does add time and stuff to do. But is adding time and stuff to do for the sake of it actually something that we want, something that's worthwhile, or does it just kind of artificially, in not the healthiest way, bloat content in an effort to keep people playing? Because I know lots of people that just didn't even do the Arch-Tempers because they had no interest in them, and that's totally fair enough. I don't think anyone should be expected to be like, oh boy, guys! There's a brand new monster! Arch-Tempered Lunastra! And get this! Every supernova, you just fucking die! Well, admittedly, that is just Master Rank Lunastra, as it's turned out to be, but you get my point! They're not exciting! They're really not! And if you don't care about the armor, and then again, even if you do, it's probably only a marginal improvement to your set, it's just, something like Extreme Behemoth, I think, was actually fine, because he was supposed to just be a brutal bullshit challenge that you got a little bit of a status reward in Draken Layered for. That's kinda fine, and it's a crossover, and you can make that happen, same with Ancient Lesson. But when you're taking a core monster of the core experience and giving it that artificial just kinda bloat just to make it ungodly punishing, I would rather die because I got hit by something threatening, not because I just got hit. I realize that might be a subtle difference, but it's a big, important one. Getting lightly tapped and losing all of your health is just, wailing on the monster for 25 minutes only to get lightly tapped and losing all your health is just, And yes, that's an extreme example, but they are an unfun endurance battle in the worst possible sense that even players that are fantastic at the game don't get really a lot out of mastering. They're an okay one-off challenge, but they certainly shouldn't be the pinnacle of, well, challenge that forms your super endgame for all of your super endgame players. So, whether they should come to Iceborne. Look, I think as long as they don't replace any other content, which they really didn't do in high rank, we're still going to get our DLC plan, we've still got at least 5 new monsters to come, well, for now, we got RageGang, and as long as they get at least, like, the Xenoe treatment, they actually feel fresh, then yeah, sure, at the end of Master Rank Iceborne's life cycle, they've said it's the last expansion, so they'll be working on whatever Monster Hunter 6 is, just have someone slap up the stats, throw them in, give them something for people to do. Why not at that point? It really does boil down to a why not. But that's the ideal situation. In a world where they get weaved in between updates as we go along and it is just a lazy stat increase, then no. I'd rather just have a little break from the game than come back to kill Arch-Tempered Black Veil Valhazak, who drains your health in a nanosecond without being any meaningfully different. I do think, though, in terms of implementation, you could weave Arch-Tempered into the Guiding Lands, and I think you could have a fun little way to do that. You could actually up the cap of what the regions can go to, say level 8 or level 9 instead of level 7, and when you reach that new cap, well, then you can get an Arch-Tempered version of a monster spawn that maybe, sure, actually does just have inflated stats, but it's there as an optional challenge. Maybe killing it just gives you a bunch of decoration drops, and that's just it. Just so it's kind of there, represented, monsters that have lived in this brutal place, battling for that long, that they've ascended past even just tempered, just as a little nod to the system, but not make it something that is hinged upon to get actual stuff that you need or want. Just a little bit of a bonus. Maybe make it a rare event that makes the Guiding Lands icon on your map sparkle, or it announces it when you're there farming. A legendary monster has appeared, and then you get to go battle it. And the thing is, right, because it's the Guiding Lands, because you can respawn infinitely, you can actually have a lot of fun with this. Because you know what? Make it fucking insane. Make it ridiculous. Make it look beaten up and scarred and battle hardened, and make it fast. Make it hit like a bloody freight train. Make it cart people left and right, because you know what? That would be fun. Having this monster that's taken you down like 15 times across the 4 of you as you slowly beat it in a battle of attrition as this rare spawn that gets you a load of decoration rewards. Maybe it would get old, but it wouldn't be necessary to do them, because as I said, it's just a few extra decorations. But it's something you can target if you do want decorations, and you can use the unique mechanics of the Guiding Lands to actually turn it into an experience where that ridiculous difficulty is not a but more like he just got one shot, oh, I'm dead too, bloody hell. I think that would be phenomenal. Either way, guys, let me know what you think. Should they come back? Will they? I mean, they're keeping an eye on things, so, well, time will tell. But for now, like you've enjoyed this, subscribe for more, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.
Final Flash! Oh, how cute. He named it. Oh, shit!
Rage Gaming with the video float.
But that's all that's really relevant at the mo, but I'm still gonna leave this up so you patrons know that I love you, even though the outro's no longer that kind of relevant. But the new one's being worked on, and it's gonna be a truly badass song, and don't worry, I won't be doing any rapping on it. I'm gonna go now. This was shit.